This is bot 9435. He's in the middle of a crap session and has $5 on the all small and another $5 on the make 'em all. He's already won the all tall and he needs just one number, just the 4, to turn that $10 into over $1,000. The thing is, if the shooter throws a 7 before throwing that 4, 9435 is going to lose his $10, but worst of all, he'll have to restart and hit all those numbers again, and that's pretty hard to do. If you've ever been in this situation, you know how frustrating it is to come so close and still leave empty-handed. But what if I told you there was a way to guarantee a win in this situation? My name is Matt, and I run simulations of crap strategies. I programmed 100,000 bots to test this trick out and find out if it's really going to work. First, I'll explain how to achieve this guaranteed win, and then we'll analyze the data to see the downsides, because while it does guarantee a win, there are trade-offs that you'll want to know about before you try for yourself. 9435 is going to guarantee a win by laying the 4 for $600. The lay bet will win if a 7 rolls, and it pays 1 to 2. That's $300 less a 5% commission on the win for a net of $285, or $275 if you factor in the $10 that he loses on the other bets. If he wins the ATS bets, he'll cover the $600 with his winnings and net $445. If the number that's remaining is a 2, 3, 11, or 12, there's no lay bet available on the table for those, so the bots are just going to have to take their chances and try for that full ATS win. Of the 100,000 bots that I simulated, almost 95% of them never got this close. Only 5,324 of them got to the point where they needed just one number to win. Of those, 62% made more money when they laid that last number, and only 38% made less money. On average, adding that lay bet improved their win by $182, and the median is an additional $333 more than they would have won without it. It seems like a slam dunk, right? But that's not the whole story. We have to dive deeper to really see what's going on here. And that's what I do on this channel. If you like this stuff, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. This is the histogram of the amounts won for the baseline players. A player just playing 555 on the ATS for 10 shooters is most likely going to lose $150. The most any bot won was $4,065, and that's because they hit it a couple times. Now, we know that most of the time they're going to lose, but even when they do win, most of the time they're winning about $20, and that's because the $5 on the tall or small pays $170, and they're betting $150 over those 10 shooters. So most of the time, if they're hitting just one of those all talls or all smalls, they come out only about $20 ahead. If we look at the lay betting bots, and remember they're playing at the same time, same rolls and everything, the only thing that's really changing here is this long tail. Here's the side-by-side comparison. Notice that the 95th percentile and the maximum are both reduced by about $600. That's going to be the common theme here. The lay betting bots won't win as big, but they're going to win more often. This chart shows the difference in the amount won for the two strategies. 17 bots won $1,200 less than they would have if they didn't place those lay bets. What happened was there was 2 times when they were one number off the ATS, but they actually ended up winning rather than losing, so those lay bets lost $600 each time. On the other side, one bot made an extra $1,045 by lay betting. That bot came close a couple times, but never actually hit the ATS, so the lay bets actually paid off for him. 1,942 bots were $600 worse off with the lay strategy. And those 3 taller bars between $300 and $500 represent 3,259 bots that did better with the lay strategy. That's the thing that really sticks out to me. The downside is $600, but the upside is mostly between $300 and $500. Again, there's more wins, they're just not as big. These yield charts show how the bots leverage their investments. On the left, we have the baseline bots that just played 555 on the ATS, and on the right are the bots that laid the last box number. 5.5% of the baseline bots won 10 times their investment or more, while only 3.64% of the lay betting bots did so. It's clear that the straight ATS will win bigger amounts, but also remember that the lay bettor has to have a larger bankroll to cover those $600 bets. We'll get into that more in the bankroll section, which is coming up in a little bit. Did you know that I also do custom simulations? They're super affordable and give you a ton of information. Some of my clients like to do some basic strategies before they go on a cruise so they kind of know what's going to happen. Others like to get really advanced with loss limits and win goals, and even some of them like to contrast different strategies on the exact same rolls. So if you've ever been curious about your method of play and what it would do over the long term, you should definitely consider ordering one. The process is super easy, and you can always reach out to me with any questions. Before we get to the bankroll analysis, let's see which bets contributed to the overall wins and losses. I'm not surprised here that most of the wins are on the ATS bets, but I was a little surprised that the same is true for the losses. I figured that $600 lay bet might contribute a little more to the losses than it does. I think one of the reasons for this pattern is that the hardest numbers to get, the 2, 3, 11, and 12, they don't actually have lay bets, and those are the ATS bets that are most likely going to lose against the 7. Now let's look at the bankroll. So the bankroll, the way that I look at this is it's actually the money that's being outlaid out of their own pockets to play the game. The baseline bots outlaid no more than $150 because that's just $15 times 10 shooters. The lay betting bots needed a little more cash to cover those $600 bets. Their max outlay was $575. And now for the house edge. Our baseline players bet exactly $15 million. With $13 million won and $14 million lost, that leaves $1.1 million for the house to take, and an overall edge of just over 7.5%. The lay bettors bet a few $1,000,000 more, and they won $14.7 million and lost almost $16 million. That comes to just about $50,000 extra dollars for the house, and it dropped the house's edge by a full percentage point down to 6.5%. Even though the house take is actually pretty close, this is another example of a lower house edge strategy that actually has a higher house take. And of course, that's because there's more total money being bet. All of this is based on the more generous 175 and 34-to-1 payouts on the ATS. If you're playing in a casino that's less generous, you really need to watch my last video on the ATS. The house edge can go as high as 18.7%. I have it linked here. As always, thanks for watching, and good luck at the table.